All right, how's it going, everybody? Today we're gonna do something that I really wanted to do. So I'm Carlos here, and today on the channel we're gonna do reactions. So we're doing reactions to comedy stuff relating to comedy, things that's funny, things that I think is funny, things that are cool to watch on the internet. We're gonna watch together. We're gonna react to it. Today's reaction comes from Podcast Cringe Bites YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe and give them a like. And what we're gonna talk about is Khalyla Kuhn and Bobby Lee. I laugh just thinking about it because man, people really hate Khalyla on the internet. They really, really hate Khalyla on the internet. So let's get into this.
To whatever the reason, she came back for a couple of episodes here and there over Christmas and the New Year, but then she took another long break.
You know what? I think one of the things that really you were hot, but
I used to be hot. Oh my god, I was so hot.
You were so hot.
Yeah.
Dude, when I saw you naked,
That's one thing that I freaking hate. Dude, she broke up with you, dog. And you're sitting there putting her on a freaking pedestal every episode, telling her how hot she is and how you were thanking God when you were with her because of how hot she was and how you couldn't believe that you were with somebody that hot. Dude, I've seen you with way hotter women than her. I've seen you at the Comedy Store in LA. So yeah, quit crying over this ugly woman that don't even like you, that she only used you, and still continues to just abuse and use you. Mentally, bro. Mentally, Bobby. Come on, get over her already. Get her the hell out your show, too. None of your viewers like her. Everybody wants her out. Look at your comments.
I cried and looked up at God and go, thank you.
I was really hot.
Yeah.
You're actually okay. Your making out needs work.
I thought I was pretty good.
But I just don't want to talk about that.
Oh, right. Let's move on. Anyway,
See what's stupid? He just sits there praising her. Oh, you're so hot. I was thanking God because of how hot you were. And she's sitting there saying how he was okay. Yeah, you could have worked on this. You could have been better on that. You could have da. All she does is complain about him. Talk about how he, all his like negative aspects, while he's sitting here just only praising her. And you're so hot and you're the best. And oh my God, I was so glad and happy and lucky to be with you. Man, Bobby, wake the up, bro.
anyway, let's move on. Okay.
The most toxic relationship in podcasting just got worse. Out of all the dramas that Bobby Lee has been involved in, his breakup with Khalyla Kuhn ranks near the top. This story has everything from betrayal to threats to blackmail, even escalating to the point that Joe Rogan had to get involved. But just when you thought things had died down over the last 12 months, overnight, things escalated quickly. Khalyla is making a comeback to TigerBelly, and almost everyone is unhappy about it. It's actually insane. I've never seen a backlash like this before, and I make videos about Burt Kreischer, Tom Segura, and Andrew Schultz.
Dude, I really like TigerBelly. I really do. But I stopped watching it because of her. After a while, you just can't keep watching Khalyla talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy that most of the episodes she doesn't talk. Like, she just sits there like a dumbass. But when she does talk, what does she contribute to a conversation? If Bobby's talking to a comedian like Ari right here, what is she going to contribute to this? She's not a stand-up comedian. She knows nothing about the real entertainment industry and touring the country, going from club to club, bombing and on stage and all. She doesn't know anything about that. You know what I mean? But so she'll sit there most of the time, and when she does talk, it's to say something cringe, something stupid, sometimes something gross. Like you could do without her. You know what I mean? You could do without her. But anyway, I stopped watching the show because of her, because I got tired of seeing her, the way that she talks to Bobby, the shit that she tells Bobby. It just upset me. And then just how gross she is. She's so damn gross, dude. Always. And then like a month ago, I found out she wasn't on the show, so I started watching again. And I watched like 2 episodes, and then she's back. And I was like, damn it, why did she come back? I know she was gone because something happened to her face, so you know what? Prayers go out to her and her face. I you know what? I don't wish her bad or anything. I want her to be healthy and good and everything be okay with her. I just don't want her on the show with Bobby. And I also don't want her with Bobby anymore because she's bad for him, dude. She's bad. She just uses him.
This is different, though. This is reaching Brendan Schaub levels of hate. And ironically, Brendan Schaub actually has a lot to do with this. Honestly, this shit writes itself. See, the TigerBelly podcast was actually Khalyla's brainchild. When she met Bobby Lee.
Yeah, and that's what sucks, is that she's the one that told him, hey, Bobby, you should do this podcast. We should do this podcast. And she convinced him to do it, and they did it. And that's why she's still on the show, because basically she had the idea for it, and then she started doing it with him. Well, that sucks, because it's like, oh, she can't really leave the show because she kind of started it, had the idea for it. But at the same time, Bobby could just buy her out or something. You know what I mean? You just, anyway, what I was going to say, Brendan Schaub. I really think this chick wanted to smash Brendan Schaub. I think she wanted to be like in an open relationship with Bobby, or I think she cheated on him a few times. And I really think she wanted to hook up with Brendan Schaub, I think. And I just think it went hella wrong. And now they're fighting, like, because they're really, Brendan Schaub and her, when I see them looking at each other and the way they talk to each other, it seems like like exes that something went wrong. You know what I mean? So I think there might have been something. I don't know. I'm just allegedly talking here. I'm just talking out my ass. But I don't know, man. I don't believe shit that she says.
Over a decade ago, he wasn't who he is now. He was a broke comedian doing Hollywood gigs and stand-up shows, but hadn't really broken through yet. According to Khalyla, she saw the potential in Bobby and started the TigerBelly Podcast as a joint venture 10 years ago. They were one of the early comedy podcasts and subsequently grew it into what you see today, with over 500 episodes and nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube. However, in the second half of last year, Khalyla took time off from the podcast to deal with some health issues. Some have speculated that she had a secret.
You know what is stupid that they say what they just said, like, oh, she saw the potential in him. She did the podcast. Like, they're I'm sorry, Podcast Cringe. You're making it seem like Bobby wasn't nobody. Like Bobby was nobody when she told him to do the podcast. No, dude, Bobby was already a comedian. Bobby had already done Matt TV. Bobby was already doing like going around the country doing shows. He was already at the Comedy Store. Bobby was already a stand-up comedian. He wasn't as big and as famous as he is now because his podcast blew him up. He started doing more shows on TV, stuff like that afterwards. But he was still a stand-up comedian doing shows. He was still had already been on TV, on Matt TV and stuff like that. He had already done interviews on live television and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not like she made him a freaking star because of this stupid podcast, dude.
Pregnancy that she wanted to keep out of the spotlight, which I haven't been able to verify, or she was dealing with mental health issues around all the hate she received off of the back of her breakup with Bobby Lee and the subsequent Brendan Schaub situation in 2022. Whatever the reason, she came back for a couple of episodes here and there over Christmas and the New Year, but then she took another long break, making her first appearance on the show in months yesterday. And like I said, I've never seen anything like this before. It got so bad that the producers had to start deleting comments, but then things got so out of hand that there was nothing they could do about it. Holy cow, with all these comments disappearing and the amount of similar comments, the team will be busy hitting delete for the next few days. Literally destroying this show and losing listeners in droves just to simp is wild. Bobby, buy her out. If you need a GoFundMe for the buyout, trust me, we would support it. If the team or anyone actually cares about Bobby's mental health, they would give him some advice on not having her on anymore. Clearly, they are there just for his money. Kinda tired of them forcing their dysfunctional dynamic on the fans. It's time to move on, guys. It adds literally nothing to the show but awkwardness. If she comes back permanently, I can guarantee you myself and many others won't be back. Reading the comments, I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Like I was saying, there are hundreds and...
Yeah, I think people on the show, on the TigerBelly show, like the producers and stuff like that, they don't tell Bobby to like kick her out, maybe because they're all friends, you know? They're all friends. They don't want to do this to her. Plus, they're like, oh, well, she started it with Bobby. It was her idea. So, like, they're very loyal to her, even though she drags the show down, even though all the comments are against her. It's their friend, you know, so they're ride or die for her, which I commend. You know, if she was my friend, I wouldn't be talking shit about her either, and I'd be trying to help her, and I'd be, you know, giving her a job just like they're doing. I'd be doing the same thing for my friend. But there's a certain time when you got to realize and separate friends from business, and this is a business, and also it's the entertainment business, and the number one thing in entertainment business, you got to give the public what they want. If you don't, the public's gonna go away. Sorry.
Hundreds of comments saying things along the same lines. By the way, quick shout out to all of you from my main channel, Podcast Cringe, for coming over here and subscribing to my new channel. I appreciate your support, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my uploads throughout the week. And so if you're new to this whole situation, it all goes back to 2022 when Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen tried to blackmail Bobby and Khalyla, threatening to go public with their breakup if Bobby didn't get Khalyla and her friends to stop telling stories about Brendan Schaub being a sleazebag. This forced Bobby to come out and tell everyone the truth.
I could see myself out of the relationship in terms of like giving her what she needs. You know, women, they need cuddles, they need attention, they need intimacy, they need all the, and I was not giving her anything. I was just playing video games and like watching porn all day, you know what I mean? And she would say, every day, she would cry and be like, what about me? What's going on? And I'd just be like, I'm just not, I don't know, I'm going through something. I would make some sort of excuse, you know, and in the last 2 or 3 years, we had sex maybe twice.
What?
Yeah. She's getting a lot of things on the...
It really sounds like she brainwashed the shit out of him to make her seem like the victim, make him totally feel. She seems manipulative, and like she makes him feel like he's a shitty one, and like she did nothing wrong. It just the way that he talks, it sounds like his brain has been manipulated by her. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know.
The internet, you know what I mean? And I have to take 95% of the blame, really, I think. You know, I really believe that.
So there are a number of reasons why Khalyla copped a massive backlash during that period, which has continued over the last couple of years, and like I just showed you earlier, it escalated overnight. For me personally, there's one reason in particular that got under my skin and turned me against her, which I'll go into more detail towards the end of this video, so stick around for that. And yes, it involves your boy Brendan Schaub. Man, making this video made me rediscover how much of an absolute asshole that guy is. Anyway, the thing is, Bobby's always been quite open about his own issues. Like you saw in that clip there, he's admitted to having intimacy problems and just social problems in general, which is partly what makes him so funny, right? But at the same time, it was clear that most people were on Bobby's side and were just happy to see him single and free again.
He's just a good dude. I'm happy to see him happy.
Yeah, me too.
And I bet his DMs are filled with bomb diggings.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of girls want to take up where Khalyla left off. Let me show you some next level. But now they also realize they could get famous if they're Bobby Lee's girlfriend. There's probably a lot of those girls.
It's so dangerous nowadays.
So he's got to duck them. You got to know which ones are.
Yeah, that's what sucks, because he's talked about it in his other podcast, Bad Friends, with Andrew Santino. Bobby has talked about how he's gone on a few dates, and there's been a bunch of girls that have gone out with him just because they want to get famous, or they want him to put them on a show, or they want him to introduce them to somebody else. There's been like girls that are like, oh, you know Theo Vaughn, can you introduce me? Or or introduce me in Hollywood and all these things. Like, and then like he tries to kiss them and they don't even want to kiss them. They're like, I'm not really into you. Then why the hell are you going out with them? So yeah, there's definitely those type of girls, which sucks, which are just trying to use them. And yeah, so he's got to be careful with that.
Sociopath.
Yeah.
Which one's pretending they like you? And which one just really likes funny guys?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the other reasons many people turned on her. They felt that she had exploited Bobby's talents while he was vulnerable and roped him into a partnership on the TigerBelly podcast so that she could profit from his rise to fame. But I'll come back to that in a moment, because from the get-go in the latest episode of the show that she'd been absent from for so long, literally her first words were putting Bobby down, and their viewers weren't happy about it.
I just saw our family doctor, Kawashiri.
Yeah.
And he was like, how's Bobby doing? I was like, he's a skinny mini. And he unfortunately agrees with Alex. You cannot be on the Ozempic without eating protein and
Oh, that's
working
so
out.
unfortunate.
He was like, I'm going to tell him.
Sorry, Dr. Alex. I mean,
Because you're just wasting away into like Kate Moss.
wasting away.
She obviously didn't realize that there would be so much hate for her in this episode, because when she came back for the Christmas special around 5 months ago, the reception
Always, all she does is talk crap to him. But and then it's not even 100% true or factual what she said. Like Ozempic, there's more to it than just eating protein. Like you have to, there's a certain diet you should have. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's not get into diets and Ozempic. But yeah, there's different ways that you could talk to people and tell them about. Like if you're actually concerned for them, you could talk to them and do it in a different way, not in a podcast tell them like, oh, you're a skinny ninny. Like
wasn't nearly as bad as this. So she walked right into that one by starting off by shitting on Bobby like that. But it seems like everyone else missed the memo too. Instead of just getting on with the interview and bringing Ari Matti into the studio, their co-hosts thought they'd stir things up again. This was all on the first few minutes of the podcast.
He still talks to you about like who's he hooking up with, or?
Yeah, Jaime, we're friends.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice of him.
Why do you keep looking down, dude?
Me or him? 'Cause
Well, are you still with your... Wait, we're gonna...
No, I'm single now. But I don't talk to her
You
about.
cycle fast too, huh?
You guys ever dream about like each other? Like,
Wait, hey, guys, that's a good question. Go ahead, be honest.
be honest.
Be honest.
I know they make fun of Jaime a lot, but he's a way better addition to the show than Khalyla is. I'm serious. I mean, he's a comedian. He's a starting comedian, like a brand new comedian, just trying to learn the ropes and get into it and all this. He has a long way to go, but he's working his butt off, and he asks questions, and he's trying to be entertaining, and you know what I mean? And he's funny just naturally. You know, that's why Ralph Barbosa, you know, told him like, hey, bro, you should start doing comedy, bro. You're funny. And then he started doing it. So, yeah, definitely a good addition to the show. She leaves. Nobody will care. We got Jaime. But how come she doesn't like dress up or like fix herself up for the show, dude? Like you're on TV. I mean, it's not TV. You're on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything she does makes me angry.
Yeah.
Well, I think okay.
Not in like a sexual way.
No, but like what life would have been.
Oh.
Maybe I stayed.
Oh my God. What are you
God.
doing? Oh my God.
And so after the Estonian assassin came in and saved the day, things looked like they were turning up again, but it didn't take long for it to go pear-shaped. Here's the thing.
Hey, Podcast Cringe. I usually agree with everything that you say. I agree with you when you talk shit about Joe Rogan. I agree with you when you talk shit about Tony Hinchcliffe and the whole Kill Tony universe. I agree with you. But one thing I'm not going to agree with you is if you talk smack about Ari. Ari Matti. Ari Matti really is a freaking cold-blooded assassin, bro. He really is. He's part of Kill Tony, but he's a different freaking beast, dog. He's a different beast. He was Ari Matti before Tony brought him on Kill Tony. Like, he was already a freaking assassin, and he is. He is a comedian all the way, 100% comedian. And yeah, definitely happy to be watching him grow and become more famous and be known. And I'm all for it because he's a really good stand-up. He's a really good comedian. I really like Ari Matti.
Not all the hate was directed just at Khalyla. I think Bobby has a lot to answer for here as well because people are sick of hearing about their relationship and even just the toxic dynamic between the two of them on screen. Their relationship was so loaded and their breakup became so public, thanks to Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen, that even the most innocent little digs and banter between them now is surrounded by a toxic undertone. And after so many months of being without Khalyla and not having to see their skeletons on display, in one episode, it all came flooding back.
Ari, why do you think?
I would rather eat pussy than
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I've literally eaten chicks' pussies, jacked off, and went home.
Yeah. I love it.
Music to my
Because it's
ear.
also no
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
No
Was I
pressure.
good
The
at
dick
it or
doesn't need
no?
to be hard.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. You're actually okay. Your making out needs work, but I think
No, no. Stop.
I hear you're better now.
From who?
The grapevine.
From girlfriends I've met.
On Reddit.
On Raya.
Okay, can I say something? Okay. Number one, I don't like your style either, lady.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Slow and passionate and sensual?
Wow.
I've gotten better.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
what I
At kissing?
What?
At kissing?
At
Yeah,
kissing,
kissing.
yeah. And you said I was okay going down.
No, you're good. You're good.
God, man. I thought I was pretty good.
But I just don't want to talk about that.
Oh, right. Let's move on. Anyway,
Her ego is so fucking I think that's part of what's upsetting. How egocentric she is and conceited and just like, oh, I'm the best. Like he's giving you his opinion of what he thinks of how you make out with them or how you gave him head or whatever you're saying. So you can't correct him on how he feels. Like, it's his feelings, you know what I'm saying? Just shut the he let you say what you said about him. But I agree with Ari. I love eating, you know what he said.
let's move on. Okay. You know what? I think one of the things that really you were hot, but
Ari, I'm not anymore. I have a face paralysis.
yeah,
so
you can't notice, but
That's why you were hot.
I remember we were
Hot refers to your body. Pretty refers to your face, in my opinion. When you're talking about hot is your body. Your face paralysis does not affect your body. So if you're not hot, it's because you're not doing other stuff to, stay hot or whatever. Don't blame it all on your face paralysis. I don't think you were hot even before it happened.
when you were living Long Beach, we were in
I used
bed,
to be hot. Oh my god, I was so
but
hot.
you were so hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Ego, conceited.
Dude, when I saw you naked, I cried and looked up at God and go, "Thank you."
I was really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're hot now, but
Yeah, no, well.
but
Yo, so how many times does she have to say I was hot for us to believe her or for us to finally start liking her? No.
I remember we were in bed together, and do you remember what?
I think Gilbert hates this stuff.
Like I was saying, it's not just Khalyla. Bobby clearly hasn't let go of their relationship, even though by his own admission, he wasn't able to give her what she wanted. It seems like he's torturing himself because he's too afraid to let go of her.
Yeah, that's what sucks. That's what upsets me is that it seems like he loves her, like he still wants to be with her. But she moved on, she started dating some other guy or whatever. And him being Bobby, so I mean, he started smashing whatever chick came his way and going out with whatever chick came his way. Because he's already at an age, he doesn't want to be alone at that age, so he's trying to find connection with somebody else. But in his mind, in his heart, he really just wanted to be with her. But I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that we probably don't know about that, why they broke up. But anyway, I blame her, just like the rest of the internet. We all blame her. Nobody likes her, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, we love Bobby here, so we're gonna be on his side, not anybody else's. Not Khalyla. Sorry, Khalyla. Prayers to you. Hope you get better with your face thing, and all power to you. Hope you have a good life. Don't wish nothing bad upon you. I just don't want you to be torturing my boy Bobby Lee. And yeah, have a good one, y'all.